What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today I'd like to introduce you to something you may not be familiar with, and that is the Bates Hundo reel. Now, Bates makes a lot of different reels, but I have been very interested in the Hundo reel ever since I saw it at the Houston Fishing Show. It was just a prototype then, you couldn't get it, but I've got one now, got my hands on one. Now, we are going to talk about what makes this reel so special and so unique compared to a lot of the competitive reels that are in this same class. We're going to talk about some of the specs, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts, all of the good, the bad, and everything in between. Stay tuned. Before we get started, I would like to say I have no affiliation with Bates whatsoever. In fact, I didn't even get this from Bates. I got it through Anglers Anonymous. They got an order of 10 or so of these reels, and I went and picked one up from them. Now, if you are interested in this reel or any of the other Bates reels, Anglers Anonymous does have a selection of these. These are going pretty quick, so I don't know how long they will have them, but I'm sure that they'll get more in the future. So if you'd like to go over and check one of these out, put it in your hand, see what it feels like, ask a bunch of questions, Anglers Anonymous. Go talk to those guys. They're very, very knowledgeable about all of their reels. So if you want to check one out for yourself before you buy it, Anglers Anonymous is the place. Now, let's talk about the Bates reel and specifically the Hundo. Now, a lot of their other reels, they're really, really nice. They're made with the same, durability and craftsmanship that we all love with these really, really nice reels. But the reason that I wanted to go with the Hundo is because a lot of their other reels, and in fact, I think all of them, are 150 size or above. This is a 100 size framed reel. It's light, it's small, it's in that compact kind of design. And for all of us that are, out there fishing a lot and doing 1,000 casts a day, if you're a tournament fisherman or people that are wade fishing a lot or doing all of that, well, you know that weight matters. And so this is one of those reels that is very lightweight. It's very compact. It's something that you can fish with all day and really not fatigue your arms. And I'll talk a little bit more about the weight here in just a minute. But the first thing I think that we need to talk about is what makes this reel so unique and special. And that is that this entire frame is actually CNC milled from one block of aluminum. I'll show you some pictures of that. But yes, it is all one piece. Unlike a lot of reels that are made of composites and different materials and they're put together, the frame is multiple pieces and they're screwed together. This is literally made of one piece of aluminum, one block. Now, why is that important? Well, I'll tell you. Because we're putting a lot of torque and a lot of pressure on these reels when we're fishing, especially when you're catching some of those larger fish. And so what happens is as you're doing that and you're putting all of that tension, reels that are made of multiple pieces and they're made of composites, they start to flex a little bit. And a lot more so, like on the reel seats, you'll see this is all literally one piece. It's all together. So you'll notice a little bit of flex in that. And what happens over time is that as the reel starts to flex a little bit, some of those gears will flex. If you've ever had a reel for a long time and you've taken it apart and you notice that like some of the gears on the edges are starting to wear down a little bit, a lot of the times it's from the flexing of that reel when you're really putting that pressure and that torque on them. Now, because this is all made from one block of aluminum and it's all custom milled, and like you can even see the mill lines on the inside, it's really neat. This is a much more durable, stable frame. There's no flex in it, there's no movement, it's just all one solid piece. So that is what I love about this reel. It's very, very unique in that manner because there's not a lot of other reels doing that. Even a lot of reel companies that do have the frame mostly one piece, a lot of the time they're going to put that reel seat, and that's something that's screwed in and there's just a lot of movement there. So I do love that this reel and all of their reels, all of their baitcast reels are literally from one solid block of aluminum. So that's pretty cool. So let's talk about weight. I know that is a big concern. In fact, when I posted this on some of my social media, that was the #1 question I got about the weight. Because this is cut from one solid block of aluminum, everyone is worried about the weight. Now we know that aluminum is very, very light, but how light is it? Well, let's look at some other reels. This is the Lose Custom Light, which is one of the lightest reels on the market. It's very, very light. This is the reel that everyone kind of goes to when they're trying to get that lightweight reel combo. This is it right here. Now this, while it is a lot of composites, you can tell, you know, just by looking at it, it has multiple pieces. There's a lot of different pieces that are put together to make this so incredibly light. Now this weighs in, based on the specs, at 4.9 ounces. Now I put it on a scale and it's actually 5. However, this reel, the Hundo, is also 5 ounces. So yeah, 0.1 ounce difference between one of the lightest reels on the market and the Hundo. Now, when we look at other reels, I like to use the Tranx. The Shimano Tranx is another reel that I use pretty regularly. Well, that is nearly 7 ounces. This is 5. I also use Corrado DC a lot. You guys have seen many times a lot of my videos. I'm using Corrado DCs. I really like those reels. Well, that one's like 7.8 ounces, I believe. So yeah, less, you know, over 2 ounces difference between this reel and that. Very light weight. Now, let's talk about some of the specs here. One of the big reasons that I switched from the Shimano Corrado DC over to the Tranx was because of the drag settings. I think the Corrado DC has like 11 pounds of drag, and I switched over to the Tranx because it was a little bit higher. It's 13 pounds of drag, and when you're fighting some of those big redfish and things like that, I wanted more drag. I wanted to be able to crank those fish in. So yeah, at the 11 pounds for the Corrado DC, 13 pounds for the Tranx, well, the Hundo is 14 pounds of drag on this little bitty reel. That's pretty impressive. All of their reels are anodized. This one happens to be in gunmetal gray. I believe that's all of the Hundos are that way. A lot of their other reels are in different colors. I know they've got like a pink one and blue, and there's a bunch of different colors. This reel comes in 2 gear ratios. You can get either 7.1 to 1 or 8.1 to 1. This is the 8.1, and I believe that's 32 inches of line every rotation, which is just incredible. Now, the braking system here, you do have to open it with this little switch here. You click it open, but even with that, I mean, it's such tight tolerances, it doesn't come out. You literally have to get your fingernails kind of in there to pop this side plate off, which is great. You don't ever have to worry about, you know, even if that thing is loose, this thing isn't coming off. It is, yeah, it's tight. Anyway, let's talk about the braking system. Now, this does have a dual braking system. You have one on the spool. This is the centrifugal braking system. You kind of notice that it will like pop in and out. So as this is spinning and it's coming, getting slower and slower, the centrifugal brake system will slow down that reel to prevent some of those backlashing. On the side plate, on the other side, is a magnetic braking system. So you have both. On the side, that is how you adjust your brake system. It's like 1 to 8, I believe, and a lot of small micro adjustments in between each number. I mean, it's a lot of brakes. I mean, you can see that's how far the braking system goes. You can hear it. Now, because of that, you can really finely tune and adjust. When I was out fishing with this, I went on a really windy day, and it only took me a few casts to really get this kind of tuned in for those conditions. Now, if you're somebody that is wanting to throw some really light lures, well, you can adjust this so you can throw some very light lures, and this will do it just fine. But if you want to switch over, throw something a little bit heavier like I was doing, it's pretty easy to adjust that as well. Tension spool knob, same, very sensitive tension knob on the spool, really makes it super easy to tune this reel exactly how you want it and adjust it kind of on the fly. Now I do like that the braking system is kind of here on the back. I've had some that are up in the front, and when you're holding the reel, it's pretty easy to kind of accidentally hit this. I mean, you have to really try. So Very, very nice reel, super, super durable. Again, all one piece frame. Just, it's just a different quality of reel. You know, when you're getting this high quality reel, I mean, you really notice the difference. Now, all right, so let's talk about using this reel. How's it feel? You know, what is that like? I know that we can go over specs all day, but I mean, while that all looks good on paper, everybody wants to know how it actually operates. So I took it out again into some pretty windy conditions, and I'll say this reel is super smooth, buttery smooth. It is you can cast a mile with this thing. It is like, I mean, there's no extra parts, there's nothing moving. A lot of my other reels, you can almost like move the spool back and forth. This one's just so tight, and it's just smooth, it's durable, everything about it. I love it. I think it is a fantastic reel. You know, the drag again goes all the way up to 14 pounds, so that is also easy. You can literally hear all of the clicks on the drag. Just a all-around nice reel. And when I was using it, I could really tell, you know, how light this was, and it just felt, you know, it just felt natural. Everything about it was super, super smooth. I could cast anything with this. It was, you know, it was above my expectations for sure. Now, I've told you everything that I love about this reel, about how smooth it is and how durable, and you know, all of its construction and its specs and all of that. But let's cover what everybody really wants to know about, and something that really would hinder some people from buying this, and that is the price. The overall price on this retails at $375. Is it worth it? Maybe. You know, it's a really, really nice reel, and I think it's definitely worth a $375 if, you know, that's in your budget to buy a reel like this. But it is quite a bit more expensive than a lot of the competitors' reel in the same kind of category. Yeah, at $375, I think if you're somebody that's looking for a new setup and you want something that has a lot of drag and you want something that's durable, that's going to last you a while, and you're looking for a whole new setup, maybe you just got a new rod and you need a reel to pair with it, I think the $375 is worth it. But on that same note, I don't see many people swapping out any of their old reels to immediately replace it with this at $375, when you can get like a Corrado DC or an SLX in that, you know, 200 range, 250 range. And there's some other reels out on the market that are even less than that, you know, 199, 179. At $375, this is considerably more expensive. Now, do I love it? Yes, I think this reel is fantastic. But on that same note, I wouldn't take off my Corrado DCs and then go switch to all Hundos, just based on the price alone. Now, if they were around the same price, or, you know, if that price point was a little bit lower, maybe that's an option that I would swap out some reels, because I really do think that this reel is better. I like it. I like that it has more drag. I like how it feels. Again, it's super, super smooth, but it's, you know, that price point is enough to make me hold on to those reels until I have a real problem, and maybe at that point I'll switch over to some more Hondas, because I really do like this reel a lot. But again, that's a pretty high price point for a reel when you have competitive reels that are, you know, almost half the price. So that's really the only negative thing I have to say about this, and I don't think it's negative, because I do believe that it's worth that amount of money. It's just hard for me to justify swapping a reel and switching over if I already have a good working reel to something like this. But again, if you're somebody that is looking for a new setup and you're looking for a new reel, or you know, maybe you have one that's broken and you need to, you know, swap it out, well, this is a good choice. I think it's great, and at that price, you know, it's you know, it's not too outrageous, but at the same time, again, I don't see anybody, you know, putting any of their reels on the shelf to go pick one of these up. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions on the Hundo or any of the Bates reels, send me a message or leave me a comment, and I'll try to answer them. This is the only Bates reel that I have, but I do know quite a bit about their reels at this point, so I'll do my best to answer those. Again, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment below, and we'll see you next time.